India and Sri Lanka, they've taken the 18th and the 19th spots. Still a lot of uncertainty as to where that third and final, and indeed the 20th and final for the entire tournament spot will go. To Jatinder Singh. Plays in one manner, the power play. Paresh, this will be fast and furious to get the chase going of 152.
Jatinder Singh is
Well, good evening, Paresh. Good evening, everyone, all the way around the world. Very welcome along to this ICC TV broadcast. Yeah, it's been an incredible tournament, hasn't it? And somehow the qualification for both of these sides not decided on the pitch. They're both there. Probably a slightly surreal feeling, particularly for the Oman players, who we believe definitely
one. He tends to
helps that away into the leg side. The first runs of the chase. Just got a little bit of the atmosphere out there, and certainly it's a festive atmosphere, isn't it? Both sets of fans celebrating pretty hard this evening. And if we get anything like the kind of game we got 2 years ago, when again both of these two teams had qualified, we're in for a real treat.
Yeah, 2 years ago, playing the final of the T20 World Cup Asia qualifiers, both the teams qualified and went to the finals, played the finals. It was a super over that Oman beat Nepal.
Divided into the offside, and Gulshan Jah will do the fielding. For any other team in this competition, on a good surface, you'd probably think Nepal well under par, but because of how well they field, and how well they've bowled in stages, in patches, in phases of this tournament, they'll be quietly confident of defending this. They'll also know that Oman's batting isn't quite as consistent as their bowling.
It also all depends on Jatinder Singh, how he goes about the game. He attacks the bowlers, try to use the power play.
Pulled in the air, but shy of the mid-on fielder. Immediately you're seeing the difference. In the first innings, that would have been a single. But Oman have rightly been sent out with a note of caution about their running between the wickets. Also a change in opening pairing, because often it's Hamid Mirza that comes in at number 3, but they've gone with the two right-handers up at the top. Suspect it will be Amir Kaleem who will be held back a spot.
So Balkami with 3 dot balls and a single in this over, the first one.
Straight to Dipender Singh Iree. Surely we're not going to see another direct hit run out this evening, are we? Because Oman aren't going to allow that opportunity, you would imagine.
Oman is a very good unit, very smart unit. They are not going to take singles to Dipender Singh Iree.
Just had a tricky tournament, hasn't he? Hamid Mirza, his last 5 scores, 14, 6, 5, 18, 5. So a bit of a lack of runs. He's never opened the batting before. Is that the solution for him? We'll have to wait and see, but it's a very tight start from Kami, who's tended to open the bowling well. Just 1 run coming from the opening over. Oman 1 for none. Third different opening pairing that Oman have had in this tournament. That's because Jatinder Singh missed the first game. So it was Amir Kaleem who stepped into the captain's shoes and captained the side. He opened the batting that opening morning with Ashish Odedara. That was against Samoa, as Oman took 17 overs to chase down Samoa's 92. Nandan Yadav is going to be with the new ball. Still no Lalit Rajbanshi, so no option for the left armour. That was a fantastic piece of innovation. An outstanding stroke. Is going to fly all the way for 6. He was looking to ramp it over the leg side, but at the last second readjusted, just opened up his arms, and this is a majestic cricket stroke.
Yeah, he played 2 shots in 1 ball there, tried to ramp it, then open the face of the bat to run the ball down to third man for a 6. What a piece of timing.
This is off Nepal's fastest bowler, Nandan Yadav, as well. Exceptional adjustment and recognition of the field, because deep third and fine leg were up in the circle and remain as such. Immediately, Singh says no, it's Dipender Singh Iree.
Dipender Singh Iree has been very effective in the inner circle.
Effective, Paresh, that's the understatement of the century. He's been all over the opposition in the outfield, isn't he?
I'm coming to that.
Really is incredible what he's done. We aren't able to class it as a world record because it isn't necessarily kept as a statistic in terms of direct hits versus normal runouts where you relay it to the bowler and the keeper. It isn't kept religiously as such. But certainly most feel as though it may well be a world record. Again, he looks for that ramp over the leg side this time, gets himself in a tangle. Adil Alam's run out was almost as impressive though.
Yes, back-to-back runouts, direct hits. I don't think Jatinder Singh is 100% there in the middle. It's probably his hamstring. That is why he was out of the playing 11 in the first game against Samoa in the group stages.
Yeah, I think for me, you're right. He sat out that first game with that niggle, and I think it was that attempt to catch in the first innings that he's just maybe strained it again. As a consequence, he's probably going to attack even more so, not try to run a lot. So every ball is being pulverized with 100% effort. As a statistic in terms of direct hits versus normal runouts where you relay it to the bowler.
They are right at the edge. Quick singles because of the niggle. After that, 6 good comeback deliveries by Nandan Yadav, 3 dot balls.
Nicely played. Might not quite have the pace to get to the rope. In fact, Irie looks like he's quicker than the ball, and incredibly, they only run a single. That shows how much Jatinder Singh is struggling between the wickets, and this will be a big factor in this chase. If you're turning most of your 2s into 1s and your 1s into dots, you're going to have to hit a lot of boundaries.
Look, he's so gingerly jogging across the crease. He is not 100%. He's struggling out there, Jatinder Singh.
Big factor if you can't run your runs. All of a sudden you need to find a lot of boundaries. All right on the money, but maybe an inside edge. Yadav was convinced, but the umpire immediately walked away. 2 overs bowled, 8 for none. Let's have a look.
Here it was a big inside edge. Good decision by the umpire. You can see the deflection from the back to the pad. It's a good start for Nepal. 8 for no loss, Oman after 2.
Sampal Kami will bowl the 3rd over, his 2nd. Split field in place, a deep backward point and a deep backward square leg. One on the off, one on the leg. Singh clubs it down the ground. Such a dangerous striker of the cricket ball here in the power play, and that soars into the night sky for 6.
It was overpitched by Sampal Kami. It didn't try to hit it hard, just timed it down to long on. This is the way he plays. He's had a bit of a niggle with his hamstring.
Yeah, lovely pickup shot, isn't it? Really well struck and struck for the maximum. Always good to watch in the power play, Jatinder Singh. Tries to go again, but Kami drags his length back. You sense it's going to be a bit boom or bust here, don't you? It's probably going to be 6, 4, dot, or maybe 1. That'll be about it from Jatinder Singh.
He's not looking good in the middle. Just jogging. It was sure too when he played that shot earlier in the 2nd over the extra cover's head. Gingerly taking a single.
Have to give him credit though, don't you, for gutsing it out and getting through it out there, putting his body on the line. Problem is, in the first innings, that would have been 1. Now, obviously, because Irie's hovering in there, I've even noticed actually the cover in the mid-wicket fielder recognise what's happened here. They're hanging 5-7 yards back from where they usually would be because they think there is no chance of a quick single being attempted by Jatinder Singh.
shows how smart these fielders are from Nepal, recognizing that the batsman is not going to run a single.
Very good game awareness, Paresh. You're spot on. Dipender Singh Airi, he's never going to drop that. Oh, and there's a lovely celebration. It's the Buddha Zen celebration from Sampal Kami. He goes down into that lovely, the Nepali tribute. Of course, the birthplace of Gautam Buddha himself. And I think that's what Sampal Kami says. Singh Airi takes the catch, and then Kami says, that was my celebration.
Yes, a very subdued celebration by Sampal Kami, just sitting there like a Buddha. This is a big, big wicket for Nepal. Jatinder Singh, who's hit 2 sixes already.
Well, keep your eyes here. If we stick with this replay, hopefully we come back to Sampal Kami. There he is. Look at that. Well, the sitting Buddha, it symbolises tranquility, enlightenment and inner peace. Kami's got plenty of that, as Nepal have their first magic moment. Credit to Singh, he hobbles off for 14. It's 14 for 1.
Number 10 of Nepal getting rid of number 10 of Oman. Good single taken by these two batsmen. It was Gulshan Jadhav, the fielder, in that occasion. Got on his heels. Very good running between the wickets.
Well, for those who don't know, it's Lord Gautam Buddha, born in Nepal, and that was a special tribute on the night that Nepal qualified for the T20 World Cup down in Lumbini. I was lucky enough to be brought down there for a visit, and it is sensational. You have to go and visit the beauty of that birthplace if you can. As Kami hits back of a length. A very good close out to the third over. $15 for 1. Well, it's a festive atmosphere, a party atmosphere for both Oman and Nepali fans here. The Oman Cricket Academy, these two sides are off to the World Cup. We'll have to wait and see with the ICC draw whenever it's announced as to whether they'll be going to India or Sri Lanka. But they're also desperate to top the table and get their hands on the silverware here. Nandan Yadav bowls the second that only just somehow misses the leg stump by a sliver, but will be given as a wide. Paresh, you would imagine that Nepal will want to go to India, won't they? If they do, what kind of scenes are we going to see?
I think from Nepal, the borders are open. We don't need a visa to go to India. If Nepal draws in India, so we'll be seeing plenty of houseful stadiums in India.
Every game sold out?
Most probably.
Okay, guaranteed by Paresh Lahani. I'm with you. I think every game will be sold out. For Oman, in a funny way, they might quite like to go to Sri Lanka, because you think about their affiliation through Dilip Mendes as the head coach, the former Sri Lankan Test cricketer. They've played quite a bit of cricket there. They've been brought for preparation camps there before. That could be a good draw for them.
Yes, the head coach being a Sri Lankan former Test cricketer, Dilip Mendes, a great cricketer from Sri Lanka.
Quite remarkable job he's done. Dilip Mendes, 24 Test matches he played, 4 centuries for Sri Lanka alongside 79 ODIs. His good use of the feet will get a very stylish boundary for Hamid Mirzi. Taking a while to get off the mark, 6 consecutive dots, opening the batting for the first time. He finds 4.
Coming down the track, hitting it inside out over extra cover. Good connection of the ball. Couple of bounces over the boundary line.
tremendous, most famously making 100 in the same test match, both innings, against India back in Chennai 1982. Long time ago, that. Shows how long he's been around. Incredible job he's done here in Oman. Really is an honourable Omani now at this stage. As that one thuds off the pad, is taken at point. The fans want to appeal for the court. Kushal Malla has a wry smile on his face. I think the LBW decision's going over the top. I saw no sense of bat or glove involved. The end result is rightly a top ball.
Yes, after the catch was taken, the crowd just going to excitement. But Kushal Malla knew that bat was not involved.
So they'll start to this chase. Both sides having their moments, neither really ahead of the game. Nepal have all their spinners to come, remember. Importance of Lamachani looms large. Short ball, top edge. Kushal Bertel goes back. Never going to drop that. Yadav bounces Mirza out, who's, well, torrid time with the back continues. Nepal have a second to put them just in front. And the Oman fans on the top deck not enjoying that. But the Nepal fans loving every second.
I think the ball struck his chest. He just massaging his chest. It was a short ball, a good bumper by Nandan Yadav into the body of the batsman. Kushal Patel, after taking catch, like he always does, kisses the ball. Torrid time in the middle comes to an end for Mirza.
Yeah, he's gone for 4. It's 21 for 2. The atmosphere is ramping up in a big way. Getting very raucous out there for Resh, I must say. You can understand emotions riding high in terms of jubilance. These two teams off to the T20 World Cup. It's going to be a third ever appearance for Nepal in the T20 World Cup. And a fourth in their history for Oman. Fourth since 2016, their debut. Amir Kaleem to the crease. Oh, maybe a bit harsh, that one being given as a wide. Yadav wants another look at that.
Yadav not pleased with the decision of the wide. It was slightly inside the line, but the umpire is the umpire.
Yeah, maybe a little bit harsh on the bowler. Amir Kaleem in at 4. He's tended to open the batting throughout this competition, or bat at number 3, so a little bit of a change in the order. Somebody's got to step up and get these runs for Oman. Who's it going to be? Singh's back in the hutch critically for Nepal. Slower ball, great skills. You have to say, Nandan Yadav has not been perfect in this tournament, but he has shown throughout as to why he is rated so highly by Stuart Law.
Yeah, he mixes his pace. This time around, it was off cutter that he bowled. The ball not bouncing as much as the batsman expected. Kaleem yet to open his account, whereas Aryan Best already on 2 of 2. This is turning out to be a long over from Nandan Yadav.
Has bowled a few wides. It's been maybe the one weak point of his series. But his good stuff has been very good, as Lokesh Bam. Usually as the gloves on, he fields well at backward points. Nepal hunting like tigers in a pack out there. All the 2s on the board. And Richie Beno would have a wry smile on his face up in heaven. 22 for 2.
Yeah, the toss, Jatinder Singh mentioning about Nepal, they hunt in packs.
It was a great analogy, wasn't it? No doubt they've been made up. I saw a nice post the other day about Shane Warne looking on down from the skies and being proud of Sandeep Lamachani's 5-for. I think the late great Richie Beno would have loved this story of what Nepal are doing for the global game, winning fans all around the world, really. We've seen Ian Bishop kind of take Nepal under his broad wing, probably one of the great modern commentators alongside Michael Atherton and so many others. It was very special, wasn't it, to have Bish with us in the box for that Unity Cup in Sharjah, Paresh?
Yes, it was very special. Ian Bishop, one of the great commentators in the modern era.
Very kind man as well, very conscientious.
Very, very kind, humble, gentle.
He put in some shift of work, I'll tell you, in terms of preparation. He knew every single one of these Nepal players inside and out. And he was kind and generous to us in terms of his knowledge about the West Indies team too. And then, just like that, as is the modern merry-go-round, the very next morning had to fly out to go and cover India's Test series against the West Indies. From his perspective, he'll have been disappointed, but I think he was proud of the way in which John Campbell and Shea Hope stood up in the second innings of that final test. And just like that, straight off to the Women's World Cup. Most in-demand commentator in the world, and you can understand why. Really added to that Unity Cup, I felt. This one's driven, beats Irie cover, so they'll get home for the single. Bisht and Kaleem, what's their approach here? Pressure's being applied. Cammy bowling 3 on the bounce in the power play.
He's been bowling well with the new ball in this tournament. The only game that he was not, the game against Qatar, he bowled 2 overs initially, gave away 20 runs.
Now, someone's just tweeted me saying, cricket badge. Imagine you asked Sampal Kami after the game and he said it was a tribute to Haaland rather than Lord Buddha. Just shy of Mohammed Adil Alam. I presume that refers to Haaland, the Man City. I'm not a big football man, but I know, what's his name? What's his first name? The Man City forward? Erling Haaland, is it? I'm not a big football man myself, Paresh. Do you like your football?
Yes, I do. I go through every English Premier League matches, especially Chelsea.
Oh, you like Chelsea, do you? Okay. So he, obviously Erling Haaland does the Buddha celebration himself. Going to run a quick single. Adil Alam won't be able to cut that off. It was very well judged. Yeah, apparently he started it at Borussia Dortmund with his Zen celebration. I think Sampal Kami and Lord Buddha did it better. But then again, I'm a bit biased towards the cricketers and in general over the footballers. Those footballers, they've too much money, Paresh.
Sampal Kami, he has different celebrations. Sometimes he takes off his boots.
Do you remember that one? He took the boot off and made a phone call. Loves the chainsaw as well. Gets the chainsaw out, the Brett Lee. Bowling with good pace here. Just getting it to skid on. These pitches in Oman, they've really suited Sampal Kami. That's why he's held the sway over his great pal Karan Casey, who's yet to play in this tournament.
Yeah, Karan Casey, a great servant of the game for Nepal. Very experienced. The eldest guy in the side hasn't got a match.
And he'll be as happy as anyone. The team have done the business. Now, Irie has a bit of a foot race with Lokesh Bam, but Bam is always going to win it. Pick up a couple. Really good start from Sampal Kami. He's been very difficult to get away. He's got 1 for 13. Oman are 27 for 2. There is the confirmation. Oman, Nepal, off to the World Cup no matter what. Tomorrow's equation is pretty simple actually as well. If the UAE beat Japan, that's it. It's all over, Red Rover, and we'll know our 3 qualified sides. It'll be the 3 highest ranked sides in the tournament, but not without more than a touch of drama. We've seen significant drama throughout the contest, and one of those men providing it comes into the attack now. Dipender Singh Irie with his right arm off breaks. He's been exceptional, hasn't he? His fielding and his bowling. Okay, he hasn't got the weight of runs I think he would have liked, but they've been worth their weight in gold, the dismissals that he has made. And he's probably bowling the best he's ever bowled. Run out chance, direct it! It's 5 and 5! No one's ever done it before. It's the one and only Dipendra Singh Airi.
The second one off his own bowling. And 5 in 5, like you said, Lenny. He's a master in these.
I think it's a world record. It has to be now. Nobody's done it before. And for me, Paresh, he is simply the best fielder in the world. 5 run-outs, 5 consecutive games, all of them direct hits, 2 off his own bowling. And look at this, he becomes the 12th fielder. Look at the speed, the pickup and the quickness of the release. Kaleem just watched and said, please no, please don't hit. But he's been run out by a country mile. I'm only surprised the somersault didn't come out. It's another one. Amir Kaleem's got to go for 1. Oh man, in trouble, 27 for 3. Well, another look. I don't think anyone else in the world makes this into a run-out chance, and Oman have not learned the lesson. Look at the delight on Rohit Paudal's face. 5 matches, 5 consecutive direct hit run-outs, and 1 name as an inside edge saves. Aryan Bisht, Mohammad Nadeem, the new man to the crease. That 1 name is 3 words. It's Dipendra Singh Airi.
What a cricketer, what a fielder he is.
Paresh, I've never seen a better fielder. We had a bit of talk about this with Ian Bishop and Carlos Brathwaite, didn't we, during the Unity Cup? Brathwaite himself said, well, I played with the guy at the GT20. Lenny, being honest, I laughed at you when you said it 2 years ago at the qualifier. But then when I saw it up close and personal, it's the speed and the dexterity allied with, well, his natural God-given gifts. He's low to the ground. As a consequence, alongside those fast twitch fibre muscles that he has, he's able to release the ball so quickly. So he makes ludicrous ground to the ball, and then he releases it in a flash. That one, by his standards, he'll have felt as though was easy. But it was, again, a world-class effort.
It was, and very good over from Dipendra Singh Airi. A wicket and just a single in the first 5 deliveries that he's bowled. The 6th over, the last over of the power play. Very important over.
Slog sweep. Goes into the leg side, just a single. Well, Nepal have grabbed a hold of this game in the power play. And again, it's because of the fielding. The bowling's gone well too. End of the 6th, 29 for 3. Let's get a look at the best of the power play.
Again, the power play belonging to Nepal, taking 3 wickets. Jatinder Singh was a bit tingle away with his injury, the hamstring niggle that he had. Couldn't run. 2 big 6s for him and then got out. This one's a good shot by the batter there, inside out, playing over extra cover. Kushal Bhutel, the catch taker of Nandan Yadav. And lastly, Dipendra Singh Airi of his own bowling creates the 5th direct hit run out in 5 matches.
Well, it's just different gravy, different level, different quality, and the whole world is going to have their attention drawn to the fielding of that man, Dipendra Singh Airi, and indeed to the leg break bowling of Sandeep Lamachani at that World Cup. Cannot wait to see the groups when they're announced by ICC, as he has a change of ends from where he's bowled throughout the tournament. Paudal slightly fumbles, but it doesn't cost the single. He's got the new style, the headband on, and after what was, well, we don't quite know exactly what happened last month. A strange old month, obviously, for so many reasons. A tragic month for Nepal, but Lamachani, who didn't play any of the 3 games against the West Indies, bounced back with a bang. No single there to Airi. And that was maybe his best ever spell in T20 international cricket 2 days ago that has helped Nepal qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah, his best figures. That was a googly ball by Sandeep Lamachani. Comes after the power play, 7th over.
Yeah, it's a very difficult position for Mohamed Nadeem. He is a living legend of the game here in Oman, there's no doubt about that. Debuted at the age of 31, had retired, of course, and gone heavily into coaching, was regularly looking after the kids and the younger players in the indoor centre here at the Oman Cricket Academy, and very happy to be doing so. And then with the player turnover, Duleep Mendes went back to one of his main men and said, Nadeem boy, I know you're 42 at this stage, but I need you back. And he's come back and had really good success. For me, he's often underused with the ball. He always delivers well with the ball. Generally been in good form with the bats. Scores of 36, 21, 28 and 14 in recent times. But he doesn't do it particularly quickly in terms of his strike rate. So as a consequence, dot balls here are going to really start to escalate that scoreboard pressure, Paresh.
It is only 2 runs of this over so far. Sandeep Lamishani mixing his pace bowling a bit quicker, back of the length, bowling those googlies that he bowls to the right-hander. This time around, quicker one again. At the end of 7, Oman 31 for 3.
Look at that required run rate, how it's spiked up. All of a sudden, Nepal are squeezing and just hounding their opposition, the hosts, who suddenly have it all to do. Look at the fall off there in the Manhattan chart, Paresh. Couple of good overs, 3 consecutive with 7 off them, but then the wickets have sparked a decline. And a big cheer, because for the first time in the tournament proper, he did bowl in the warm-ups, remember. We're going to see Kushal Malla with the ball, 2 right-handers at the crease, and I like this move from Rohit Paudel, probably just trying to give his young all-rounder, who's under a bit of pressure, not in the runs, give him a bit of something to enjoy with the ball. He's a very clever and canny left-arm spinner. Gulshan Jah does well. Saves 2 runs in the deep and a good arm to go alongside it. Opportunity for Malla to get into the game and impact it. Talk about legacy, Mohamed Nadeem's importance for Oman in international cricket. There's every chance, particularly with the form of Sampal Kami, as Malla shows a great spirit of cricket to tie Bisht's shoelace for him. Kami could become the first Nepali cricketer to represent Nepal in 3 World Cups.
Yes, he can be. The first one in 2014, he was a young fellow, 17 or 18 years of age.
That would be an incredible achievement, wouldn't it, for Sampal Kami?
Yes, it would be. Playing 3 World Cups for your country.
Yeah, I think for me, Kami's legacy, a young kid, a greenhorn really, Paresh, wasn't he, back in 2014 with all the legends, Basanta Regmi, Paras Kadka. Shakti Gauchan, of course, whose celebrations lit up the tournament in the preliminary stages. But he'll be, even though he's only in and around 30, he'll be a bit of a veteran of this team, won't he? One of the most experienced ones in the squad that could go to India and Sri Lanka. Obviously, he's got to stay fit. But you'd imagine he'll be one of the first names in the squad if Nepal, all going well, get placed down in India or Sri Lanka, wherever they go. Karen KC, the same. By Rohit Paudel. It's a pretty settled squad. There's probably question marks over, I don't know, maybe a handful, 3 or 4 of the squad in terms of really the bench players who might come in and out. But you would imagine it might be a pretty similar squad to the one we have here that would go to the World Cup. 37 for 3 after 8. Do you envisage many from outside of this squad forcing their way in? I suppose the Nepal Premier League next month will give players opportunities.
We'll have to see how they perform in the Nepal Premier League, because that can be a selection tournament as well for the World Cup.
Was also talk, now this was classic Nepal cricket, probably rumours on social media, but something that I had heard was that Nepal were going to look to play another full member nation in the build-up to that World Cup, and that would be an Asian one. So probably looking at maybe a Sri Lanka or a Bangladesh or an Afghanistan in terms of prep build-up, whether that be December or January. As we see the 5 bowlers used thus far, Lamachani will bowl his second. You think someone like a Bashir Ahmed might be able to state his case, put a bit of pressure on a Kushal Malla?
Yeah, it all depends, because Bashir Ahmed also bowls left-arm orthodox, bats left-handed.
Wish Bibek Yadav well in his recovery as well. Was in for surgery reasonably recently. I'm not sure he'll be back and fit in time. Somebody like some of the great servants, Binod Bandari or Abhinesh Pahara, they'd have to have a very good Nepal Premier League to force their way back into the mix.
Yeah, there's one guy, Kamal Singh Aidi, is also there.
Kamal Singh Aidi is a good shout, absolutely. Young Rashid Khan too. Now this goes miles up. It's going to take a lot of catching, this one. It hangs in the night sky for an eternity. But Arif Sheikh, the sub-fielder, I think he's just come on. He's been on for a ball, and he's had to take an absolute hanger that almost went to the moon and back. Lamachani's in the wickets again. It's all going Nepal's way. They're seeking revenge from that defeat 2 years ago in the final, and looking very good.
Trying to slot sweep that, Sandeep Lamachani. That was a leg spinner. That is why it got the outside edge, the leading edge. And Arif made it look so simple.
And he had a bit of a turn to the bench, and he goes, that's why I'm the sub-fielder. Get me on, let me make an impact. Bishta's got to go, looking for the big hits. He's been caught in the deep for 11. Oh man, well, they're in real trouble. 38 for 4. Well, the hero from 2 days ago for Oman is given a promotion up the order. Nadeem Khan, initially listed at number 9, Paresh. What's the thinking here from Duleep Mendes? He thinks as though I've got to get a left-hander to the crease to counteract Sandeep Lamachani.
Yeah, I think that's the case for Dilip Mendes. He's a left-hander and he can strike the ball nicely. He can hit a big ball. At number 6, Nadeem Khan.
Remarkably, it's only his 5th innings in T20 international cricket. He's batted in 4 different positions now. Once at number 3, twice at number 7, including where he made that 30 not out, and once at number 9. Slip in place. As Lamachani is going to concede a single because Arif Sheikh, who took that great catch, has got a bit carried away and conceded the easiest of misfields to allow Khan to get off the mark.
We don't see that kind of a misfield by Nepali players, Nepali fielders. Arif Sheikh is also a very good fielder.
Nadeem just can't get anything going, can he? 5 off 12. Required run rate, it's heading only one direction. Double figures and north of that.
It's pretty hard for these guys to face Sandeep Lamachani, a class act. He's coming off with a 5-wicket haul.
His second in his career. Irie again. Oh, he slips and he fumbles. It might have been 6 and 5. Look at the reaction from Asif Sheikh. He thought it was a game on for another one. Let's get a look at this again. Which end was he going to go? He probably could have run out either batter here.
He was again very quick to the ball. Dipender Singh Aidi just misses the ball completely.
Great reaction. Great reaction. He's had the most sublime fielding performance throughout the tournament. Everyone's human. Everyone's fallible. A rare mistake. As that one so nearly kisses the off stump. A very sharply spun and flatly bowled googly. It's a wicket and 3 runs from the over. 9 have been bowled. Nepal in complete control. Oman 40 for 4. Just see the scale of the problem there for Oman. Been so impressed with their bowling, and indeed actually their fielding has improved immeasurably in recent times with this new crop of players. There are problems with the bat, though, Paresh. I don't think Dilip Mendes can hide that.
Yeah, they've already qualified for the World Cup. They have to somehow find batters. Apart from Jatinder Singh, I don't see any batters performing in this tournament.
Consistently, Vinayak Shukla's had an innings. We've seen Nadeem Khan have an innings. It's kind of been one-off performances rather than really consistent run accumulation as Gulshan Jha comes in for his first bowl of the night. We might see Rohit Paudel circle right the way through the team here. Everyone could be given a trundle. Kushal Bertel hasn't bowled as much as we thought he would here in this competition.
He might get a ball today. Kushal Bertel, the second best strike rate in T20Is in terms of wickets.
Slight break in play. Umpires just preparing for the drinks break at the end of this over. The signals going on as such. Irie again. Oh, near direct hit. I think he might have been home this time. Again, he's created a chance out of nothing.
These batters still taking runs off Dipender Singh Irie.
Well, it's really just panic, isn't it? It's a case of necessity. They don't want to take on this single. Did go straight away, and he's pretty quick. I wonder, would he have been home? Just wonder, that side on replay, as to how close it would have been very difficult for the umpire to give. A reminder, of course, no decisions at this level on any of the pathway events go up to the third umpire. It's a consistency across all of the events, all of the pathways for the men's and women's World Cups. Would have been really close though, Paresh. Got him. Kisses the top of off and he wheels away in celebration. The promotion up the order for Nadeem Khan. It doesn't work. And maybe he would have been run out from the previous ball. I don't think he quite would have been given. But Gulshan Jha, he has an impact with the ball tonight. Good delivery, back of a length, hits the top of off. And now it's 5 down. And Nepal are surely cantering home to what will be a big victory. They'll stay unbeaten unless something changes.
And the ball skidded on, and it was a nothing shot by Nadeem Khan. Just trying to flick that ball. Didn't play with a straight bat. It skids through.
Good delivery, isn't it? Very difficult to play that. Jha, he is up and about. Big celebrations for him. And Nepal, they're closing in on celebrating their World Cup qualification with a significant victory against the hosts. We'll find out who will win this game in the next 10 overs. Don't go anywhere too far. Break here in the commentary box. Oman in real trouble. 41 for 5. So 111 more required for Oman. It looks fanciful at this stage because Nepal have possibly put in their best bowling and fielding performance combined in the tournament. I don't think that they know that they're already qualified for the World Cup. That's the information I've been given. I think Stuart Law was wanting to keep his boys very focused and level, and wanted to make this a must-win encounter. He'll be desperate to complete the tournament unbeaten. If they do win tonight and they're in a very strong position, they would just need to beat the lowest ranked side in the entire competition of all of the 9 sides that entered it, Samoa, to make it the most perfect of weeks. It would be 6 games, it would be 6 wins, and it would be heading to India and Sri Lanka in some style. But Vinayak Shukla's had a good tournament. He comes to the crease at number 7. Irie Hare's in again. Wild throw. Trying even the most audacious of runouts now. Andrew Leonard here alongside Paresh Lahani. Paresh, last time I'll be with you. You've got to get back home to Nepal tomorrow, and you won't be here for the final 2 days. Are you telling me your job is done? You've been here to see Nepal qualify, and that'll do nicely.
That is why I think I was called upon here, just to get Nepal qualified, and even Oman. Both are without a loss. Today, one team will definitely lose the game.
Mix-up.
Today, one team will definitely lose a game, and one will stay lossless. That means winning all the games apart from one remaining the day after.
Been surprised by how this contest has gone, because we feel it's a very good surface. And we felt that 150 might have been a little bit shy of what Nepal could and should have got, particularly after that opening partnership between Bertel and Asif Sheikh. But they've dominated the second innings. Mohamed Nadeem just can't get anything going. 8 off 17. And you do just wonder, was it an inspired piece of coaching? Making sure his team didn't know that this, in essence, this was a game that didn't matter whether they won or they lost. And maybe Stuart Laws just kept his boys focused. As we get to the end of the 10th, it's 43 for 5.
I think one of the bails must have been broken. That is why a bail from the pavilion has been brought from the umpire's room. It is going to be Sandeep Lamechani to continue from the Oman LNG end.
And they've got an awful lot to do. 109 runs required and just 10 overs to get there. Nadeem is in, but he's not really making much threat. Hasn't found a boundary yet. It's a difficult position. Nepal have been at their very best here. They've probably saved their best field and bowling performance for this grand stage, this celebratory stage this evening. You can just think of what this will mean across the country, from the far west all the way out to the east, the beauty of Pokhara to the Kathmandu Valley, and all in between. For Nepal, this is the most beautiful cerebral joy that the side are giving them after the most difficult of months last month. A month that hit the headlines for all the wrong reasons, the tragedies, the martyrs that were lost, the heroes now on the cricket field paying tribute to them. It's going to be an emotional journey, Paresh, isn't it, to India and to Sri Lanka. There is every chance these young men for Nepal will do something very special there.
They have done something special. First of all, winning the series against West Indies, and secondly, getting qualified for the back-to-back T20 World Cups.
I saw a great post this morning on social media saying that there's only 2 players in this side that aren't Gen Z, if you will, that by the definition, 28 or less, that's Karen KC and Sampal Kami. Everyone else is a product of that generation that demanded change back home, and obviously it happened in a way that nobody would ever want anyone to lose their life and there's been people made martyrs of. It was a horrendous week or 10 days that nobody will ever forget, but brighter future ahead. And I think this cricket team is going to be a big part of that rebuild of the country. And the story of them journeying to India is about so much more than just cricket.
It is a culture now for Nepal. The cricket game, 11 overs has been bowled. Oman 48 for 5. They have to get going now if they want to win this match, if they want to secure the first position in the table.
They are loving every second. There is a joy and innocence and a beauty to the people of Nepal, the ones that I have met, not just in Nepal, but around the world. The diaspora, much like my home country in Ireland, it extends from the west coast of America to the east coast of Japan and New Zealand and Australia. Beautiful people, a kind people. Gulshan Jah returns, and he's heaved away into the leg side, more like it. Mohammed Nadeem, well, he's been one of the greatest servants in the short cricketing history of Oman. He'll keep fighting. And a bit of icy silence around Nepal's fans as Nadeem gets 6.
Pulled off the front foot, nice connection. Down to a deep backward square leg. He's played 21 balls before this and has only 11 runs. That shows how good Nepali bowling attack is today.
Put down, not easy at all for Asif Sheikh. And maybe actually the first error he's really made with the gloves across the entire tournament. I think Nadeem was trying to guide it down to deep third, but the extra bounce from Jah surprised him, and Asif Sheikh was unable to hang on to what was a very tough chance.
Yeah, it flew off the edge of the bat. It's good that he got his gloves to it, otherwise the ball was racing towards the boundary. He saved 2 runs for his team. We say that it's a drop chance, but I say he saved the 2 runs.
I really hope for Oman as well, Paresh, that they have a more successful World Cup with this new crop of players. I think in many ways they'll have more potential. You'd imagine that bowling attack is going to cause plenty of problems, whether they're placed in Sri Lanka or India, as it's a well-judged 2 by Mohammed Nadeem. The question will be, where are they going to find the consistency with their batting to win games against higher-ranked opposition? We saw them push India ever so brilliantly in the Asia Cup and get within touching distance of the most formidable of cricketing opponents. Where's the consistent run scoring coming from outside of Jatinder Singh? I think Dilip Mendes thinks a lot of Hamid Mirza. I think he's found a very good keeper batter in Vinayak Shukla. But if they've got to chase 160 plus somewhere in Sri Lanka or India, can they do it?
They'll have to practice accordingly, do some match practice scenarios. Jatinder Singh, the captain, Vinayak Shukla, the innings that he played of 44, not out, that was a good innings, almost 200 his strike rate then. And Hamad Mirza, Mohammad Nadeem, the senior most guy in the squad.
Tickled round the corner, but not quite out of the middle of the bat. Salamachani dives to keep it to a single. More like it though from Nadeem. He's just showing some fight. Will actually be given as a leg bye. Initially the scorers agreed with us.
59 for 5 in the 12th over. 8 overs remaining after this. 93 more required. Mohammad Nadeem or Vinayak Shukla, one of these batters, they have to go after the bowling now.
Yeah, 8 overs remain. Oman are left with it all to do, building something of a 6-wicket partnership. They are 60 for 5.
batting card of Oman. Jatinder Singh, 14 of 11. The highest score so far for Oman. Mohammad Nadeem, 21 of 26. 11.5 runs per over required by Oman to win this game. It's gonna be Kushal Bhurtel.
Yeah, nice move this. Just rolling through his bowling options, Rohit Paudel. Starts right on the money. Very different kind of leg spinner to Sandeep Lamichhane, but it was Monty Desai who first kind of uncovered Bhurtel's potential as a leg spinner. Bit unorthodox, no doubt about that. By his standards, in terms of his threat and wicket-taking exploits, hasn't had the best tournament with the ball, but he's been brilliant with the bat, and that's probably more important for Nepal of his two skills.
Yes, 250s in the tournament so far and won 30-odd runs, 124. He's been amongst the runs. He's the leading run getter in this tournament for Nepal.
Yeah, second overall, just behind Alishan Sharif, who has really been close to solely responsible for keeping UAE in it. A couple of heartbreaking results today for the East Asia Pacific region. Japan lost a big toss this morning, got a decent total on the board, and then the 5 wides in the final over ended up being critical, as we saw a 5th consecutive thriller go right the way to the final over. That's left Japan, well, meaning that they only have one way still in. They're going to have to beat the UAE and maybe beat them by a margin. This one thuds into the pad, angling down though. Nadeem getting himself in trouble.
He's quicker through the air, Kushal Bhurtel, not a normal leg spinner like what Sandeep Lamichhane is. He has that googly, also that was an attempted googly, a bit quicker through the air.
I think it was the leg break, to be honest. I think it was close as well. Swept straight to the man who doesn't quite get there. Sampal Kami went for the catch. Don't know if he got his fingers underneath the ball, but it could easily have been the 6th wicket. Instead, Nadeem has a life. A second life.
Excellent effort in the deep by Sampal Kami, diving in front.
Oh, didn't quite carry. So just the one life Nadeem has had still. Dragged down from Bhurtel, not punished. Only 4 from the over. It's not what Oman need. Nadeem has got more than anyone in the innings, but not necessarily threatening Nepal. 13 bowled, 64 for 5. Gulshan Jah to bowl his 3rd. Do you think we could see Rohit Paudel really ring through all of his options here? Could we, in theory, see 10 bowlers? Remember, there's no Jura tonight. Everyone else bowls.
We haven't seen Mohammad Adil Alam yet coming to bowl. He took 4 wickets in the second game against West Indies.
No Rohit Paudel either. Who's the other one? Who else hasn't bowled?
Lokesh Bam bowls some off
Lokesh
spinners.
Bam. Well, he's not going to bowl. Good call. Sliced away. Very fine and fine enough to get to the rope. Shukla's been a bit becalmed to start his innings, but he finds a first boundary with a little bit of fortune as Jah misses the Yorker and is sliced away for 4.
Attempted Yorker by Gulshan Jah ends up with a full toss, edged away by the batsman, Vinayak Shukla. They need plenty of those, Oman, to get closer to the target. He's just having a chat with Gulshan Jah.
Nice to see Gulshan Jah back bowling. That'll be one of the big boosts and big stories for Stuart Law from this tournament. Told me at the start of the event that he really wasn't far away. Then we saw him bowl after the conclusion of that first game, the comfortable win over Kuwait. And you think of his prowess with his batting, which is probably his more primary trait in recent times. You stick into the fact that he's the rarest of things for Nepal. He's up over 6 foot tall, has a yard of pace. Ian Bishop was very favourable about Jazz bowling. Good to see him back. Barely bowled at all down in the top end T20. Didn't bowl in the Unity Cup, but he's been a big part of things, particularly that spell against Japan. Helped into the leg side, goes a long way up. Can Powell go back? Yes, he can. Inches, only inches inside the rope. And he says, yes, umpire, that one's out. The captain will take the catch. Mohammed Nadeem, well, he fought as ably as he could. But thanks to a very well judged catch right on the rope, just inches inside the rope, it will be the 6th wicket to fall.
A very well judged catch by the captain, Rohit Podel. Went under the ball, stable himself, inches inside the rope. Look at him, look at his feet and the rope. And just signals soft corner from his fingers to the umpire. That's out.
Well, he can do it all, can't see the captain of Nepal. A very well judged catch. Credit to Nadeem. He's been a top scorer, but we'll get 25 and no more. Oman, and they slide further. 70 for 6. Just going back to that topic about the 3 qualifying sides' chances. We don't know the 3rd qualifying side yet, but we do know the equation's simple for the UAE. Win tomorrow and that's it. The last 3 games will matter not in terms of the qualification spots. They'll matter for the rankings and the silverware. But you would imagine that of the 3 sides, if the UAE take that 3rd spot, all 3 of these sides will go to the World Cup with realistic ambitions, firstly of winning games, which Nepal failed to do last time around, which Oman failed to do last time around. Both came very close. Nepal lost the game by a run, and Oman couldn't have got any closer. They tied a game against Namibia before losing the super over. What's another? Ramanandi is gone first ball. Gulshan Jazz on a hat-trick, and this game, it could end in a hurry.
It was again the back of length by Gulshan Jazz. Tried to pull that Ramanandi, got the inside edge and rattled the stumps. 2 wickets in 2 balls. Gulshan Jazz 3 for 20 in his 3rd. Oman in trouble, 70 for 7.
And if it could, this media centre might just be jumping up and down alongside those Nepal fans who are loving every second. But we've already seen 2 hat-tricks in this tournament. We saw the most recent one in the last game. Can we make it a 3rd? It was a first ever hat-trick in T20I cricket for Mohamed Farouk of the United Arab Emirates. And of course, earlier in the tournament, we saw Owais Ahmed for Qatar take his and his nation's first ever T20I hat-trick. Here's another look. Ambitious stroke from the first delivery, swinging heavily across the line, going deep in the crease, off the under edge, and it goes straight into leg stump. Are we going to see 3 hat-tricks, Paresh?
For that, Gulshan Jazz has to be very accurate ball, stump to stump. You miss, I hit kind of delivery.
Just the one in history for Nepal. That was the great Karen KC against Papua New Guinea back in 2022. Can Gulshan Jazz add his name to that list and make it the 78th in men's T20I history? Going to bring another catcher in. So we've got a slip, a backward point that's almost more of a gully. Irie can't be more than 15 yards from the bat at extra cover. And the vice-captain's imploring Sampal Kambi to get closer at mid-wicket. Here we go, hat-trick ball. Not to be tonight for Gulshan Jazz. It's 70 for 7. Here's the batting card. Double figures for just 4 of the batters tonight. Mohammad Nadeem, the top scorer, but really, once Jatinder Singh fell, you just sensed that, well, it was going to be a tall task for Oman to hunt this down. They've not been in prolific form with the bats. That will be something that Dilip Mendes will be desperate to put right over the coming 4 or 5 months. I think secretly he'll be hoping for a draw in Sri Lanka. Should find that out in the coming weeks from the ICC. As this one goes up, up and away. It's a big hit. Shukla has power to burn, and he got that right into his hitting arc. Probably was a slog sweep he was looking for over long on, but it skewed a bit and went many a mile over long off.
It was flat batted by Vinayak Shukla, trying to hit it across the line, but hit it straight.
Back live with you now, and goes to the googly down the leg side. It'll be a wide. I think the reason that that's gone over long off, I think it was the leg break from Sandeep Lamachani. Just that those revs on the ball and being a little bit late on the shot have skewed it down the ground. Not exactly where he wanted, but he's got so much power, Shukla, that it flew many a mile. Seen a few big sixes tonight, none bigger than that Gulshan Jah hit. Lamachani's right on the money. His return to form after obviously not playing the Unity Cup, been a big boost too for Stuart Law.
It has been, and not only for Stuart Law, for the team, for the national side, and for the cricketing fans back home, around the world.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of a case as well, as I really feel outstandingly again, even though they get home for the single. Might be a case that Lamachani would love a draw in India, and maybe he feels as though there's a bit of unfinished business in terms of his IPL career there. He'd love to get back to that level. Who wouldn't? If he's a good tournament, who knows? Maybe he'll be signed by one of those 10 franchise sides again. Yeah, Shukla alongside Singh probably being the rare high point for Oman's batting. Here's that one missed. Somehow evades the off-stump. Scores of 51 not out in the warm-up against Kuwait, the official T20I two-match series they played. Then 48 against Papua New Guinea, 30 not out against Qatar. That was such an important innings. They desperately needed that. And then he was also not out at the end against UAE. He's got to 17 tonight. Probably won't be enough to take the win, but at least someone showing some form at the bat for Oman.
Vinayak Shukla. And it was about Jatinder Singh. He was very tender, not 100% fit, opening the batting.
Oh, what a stop again. It's that man once more. Dipendra Singh Airi. 3 more runs saved. Be a single to close out the 15th. 79 for 7. Gulshan Jah will search for a 4th wicket. Wasn't a hat-trick a little while ago. Pitches outside leg, a long way outside leg, so that can't be given out. Nepal's best performance of the tournament, this one, Paresh, despite the wobble with the bats in the first innings.
And they had a good start. The power play belonged to Nepal, but after that, Mohammad Nadeem coming to bowl, and then 4 wickets
Nadeem Khan.
for Nadeem Khan.
Yeah, bowled brilliantly.
That turned the game around. But at the end, Gulshan Jah, like always, back-to-back sixes, getting the momentum into the team. Good bowling, slower ball into the wicket. And even when Nepal came to book in the second innings, a good opening spell by Sompal Kami and Nandan Yadav. And then Gulshan Jah 3 for 20 in his 4th. Sandeep Lamachani taking a wicket also. A brilliant run out again by Dipender Singh Airi.
And the value of those run-outs, the 5 direct hit run-outs in those 5 matches, this is driven very elegantly by Sufyan Mahmood, who we haven't even mentioned yet, gets to the crease. Such a fine batter, isn't he? And a handy asset to come all the way down at number 9. That was one of the shots of the day for me.
Yes, played it on the up. Hit it straight. The umpire had to take evasive action there.
He's probably a bit low in the order for my liking, Sufyan Mahmood. He was initially listed at number 7. Surely he's a better batter than Jitin Kumar Ramanandi, you would imagine. There's a bit of niggle, remember, because it was the send-off from Sufyan Mahmood to Gulshan Jah that caused all the controversy. And again, I just wonder if somebody had a word here with Mahmood after that boundary. Bit of spice out there, despite Nepal coasting. I think Jah would love the wicket. He desperately wants the wicket of Sufyan Mahmood.
Well, actually, I think Asif Sheikh there is trying to do something.
Well, I suppose standing up for his teammates. It was pretty clear. We don't have the benefit of the stump mics, or really we're up in a soundproof commentary box because of the noise of the fans. So we've no idea what was said, but it was clear from what the umpire's actions were that Sufyan Mahmood had possibly gone past the line. He was given a long talking to by the 2 standing umpires. So Jah wants a bit of revenge. Not going to get it in this spell as Mahmood gets a single to get down the non-striker's end. You pleased with where Nepal have taken their levels to tonight, Paresh? Has this been their best performance? You suspect so?
Yeah, this has been Nepal's best performance in this tournament. Started off well with the bat. Had a bit of a niggle in the middle overs. Kushal Purtel playing a very good knock of 60-odd runs. Gulshan Jah again, back-to-back sixes. The second 6 was the biggest one.
Yeah, they were crucial. Slower ball, pumped down the ground. That's going to go for 6. Nearly comes up into our commentary box. I was about to dive for cover and guard you, Paresh, but I've got you, buddy, don't worry. It's a big hit to round out Jah's spell. He'll finish with 3 for 31. Oh man, 90 for 7. Oh, the perfect straight 6, wasn't it? What a hit. Here we go, have a look. Look at how close this got up to the commentary box. We are just there. Now look at Paresh, he was about to duck for cover. It's okay, buddy. No harm done.
I think these glasses are very protective glasses.
I think they are the smash-proof or the shatter-proof ones, no doubt. They look like they're very well insulated up here. It's been such an addition to this ground. When I first came here 7-8 years ago, we didn't have the benefit of this media centre. We used to actually, if you just look at the left of your screen there, that little canopy, we used to get roped off towards the end there and have to commentate from the end of the balcony there, whilst the rest of the balcony was PMOAs, so that's where the players have their food. Certainly an upgrade. This building came in place for the T20 World Cup. It was about 4,000 seats that surrounded the ground. And there we are. Come on, Paresh. Everyone's been watching. Stand up and give them a wave. There we are, Paresh. Here last night. Lovely to be with you. I don't know who's in the background. Someone's getting in the way. Don't know who that is back there. But guys, it's been great to have you. And we've loved every second. Namaste to everyone right the way around the world. I want to thank you so much. And also the cameraman up on top. Is that Innocent up there? It might be Innocent up above us. Doing a brilliant job. All the crew, David and Innocent and everyone, our thanks to them for bringing these pictures around the world. Nandan Yadav comes into the attack. He'll bowl his final 2 here, you'd imagine. What is it that Stuart Law would be frustrated with from this campaign? Is it the return of the cardiac kids, bringing that drama, that manic, that chaos nature to their cricket?
He shouldn't be frustrated because the team won in a close game. Qualified for the T20 World Cup next year.
I think there will be. He's quite a perfectionist, Stuart Law. He's obviously got that elite Australian winning mentality. I think that's why he's been such a good fit to take over from Monty Desai, who's obviously still much missed and stays very much in contact with the team. We've seen him sending plenty of messages throughout this competition. For me, I don't think they've been at their best. I'll be honest. I think they've played poorly in phases. I think their batting has not had the consistency or the run accumulation that it maybe should have. They've clearly got a problem in the middle order in terms of not necessarily knowing where Kushal Malla and Sundeep Jora fit in alongside Irie and Ja. Most of the consistencies come as Powell, nearly creates a run out at the non-strikers end. Most of the consistencies come at the top, hasn't it, from Bertel and Sheikh. But I think their fielding in particular has been the best I've ever seen across the whole tournament. The bowling, most of the time, has been good enough, although they've had 2 or 3 lulls, particularly against Qatar and against the UAE, and Japan, in fact, actually. So there are improvements, significant improvements that can be made, but the fact that we're maybe critiquing them, Paresh, and they may go 6 games unbeaten, speaks volumes about the expectations now for Nepal.
Yes, that is very true, Lenny. They have been much better today. Before the other matches, talking about Japan, they were 97 for 1 in the 13th over, I guess.
I think it was even the 12th, yeah. They were cruising. Should have got 160, 165, 170.
And the game against Qatar?
Well, I still don't know how Nepal won that. The game was over. It was the if we had the win viz, the prediction calculator, it would have been 98% Qatar. They needed less than a run of ball with 9 wickets in hand.
Yes.
An extraordinary, a staggering comeback. But I suppose that's a great sign, isn't it? That's a sign that the team has gears and levels it can go to. In the conditions, let's say they get placed in India, could Nepal challenge big name test nations in their group?
They might get that challenge. They've challenged South Africa in the last T20 World Cup, losing the game by 1 run. It was Gulshan Jha who was at the crease.
I suppose that particular surface in St. Vincent really played to the strength of Nepal's spinners, didn't it? Bertel was the hero with 4 wickets. Lamachani was close to unplayable, very economical. Bender Singh Irie was very good that evening too. I think the addition of Nandan Yadav, remember he wasn't in that T20 World Cup squad back in 2024, and this is meant as no disrespect to Karen KC, who's a legend. But Yadav, that extra yard of pace, is a real boost, a real addition, as there's smiles all around for Nepal in the field. It's 94 for 7. Not going to see the 9 bowlers that we speculated we could have. We have seen 7 though, and Powell has been pretty ruthless. He's wheeling through his best options. Probably the surprise, just the one over for Dipender Singh Irie. He's often underused, isn't he, with his bowling?
Oh, actually, today it was not necessary to bowl him because the wickets were coming in regular intervals. Just a solitary over for Dipender Singh, and he has done his job with a run out.
Does it again and again. The impact he's had in the field. This one's picked up a long way. Oh, that's an almighty strike. As Vinayak Shukla, well, just giving Oman something to cheer here right at the death. The 100 comes up in the 18th over. Is it going to be too little too late, or are we going to see another extraordinary fight back?
Is it not over yet for Oman? They can still get these runs if they hit 6s like this.
They're going to need plenty more of them. 52 off 17 is the equation. I would have been tempted to go with Irie from this over, just really ruthlessly close it out. The runs that have tended to come have been to pace on this evening. Maybe Powell just underusing his spinners a tiny bit. Cammy will go round the wicket now. What can Shukla do? Can he give us a late rattle here? Can he get Oman into some kind of a position? Singles aren't going to help. It's been a case throughout the evening, hasn't it? Any set batter hasn't really got the support they've needed. Bertel didn't get it in the first innings, and now Shukla's failing to find a willing ally at the other end from anyone.
Yet another good knock by Shukla, 31 of 17, 32 of 18. Sufyan Mahmood, 8 of 12. This is Sompal Kami's last over. He's bowled pretty well with the new ball.
Flicked away for a single. You'd like to see Shukla just really go hell for leather at these three balls. It's 50 to win off 15. It's not impossible. But to give it a rattle, you've almost got to go bang, bang, bang here, this over. 3 boundaries, 6-4-6 or something like that. Just to throw the cat amongst the pigeons. Just to remind us that a T20's never done.
Not done until the last ball or the last run he scored.
Tries to go downtown, doesn't get it. And it's going to be the end of Shukla. Gulshan Jah will take the catch. And now Sompal Kami's got the push-up celebration out. He's running through the routine of them. You cannot blame Vinayak Shukla. He played ever so well. Really the lone stand with the bat alongside Mohammad Nadeem for Oman. He's now got to go. And Nepal 2 good balls away from staying perfect and celebrating that World Cup qualification in real style.
And coming around the wicket, angling the ball away from the right-hander. Easy catch to Gulshan Jah. Look at him celebrate. And push-ups comes out from Sompal Kami. After a good cameo, Shukla has to depart for 30 of 19. Oman 102 for 8.
Shakil Ahmed. So the crease, he's in at number 10. Sompal Kami has a second. And he'd love a third next to his name, and a fourth if he could. Be a top ball. From Kami. Paresh, Oman just blown away in the second innings here. They kind of did their job in the first.
Yeah, they did it after a good opening stand by Nepal, taking 4 quick wickets in succession. And coming to bat, chasing 152. Jatinder Singh had a niggle. He was not running well. He was just jogging around. Hit 2 sixes though.
Heaved away and a diving stop attempted but not affected. It'll be a boundary to silence the Nepal fans who are reaching fever pitch. 18 bowled, 106 for 8. Not the greatest night for Lakesh Bam, Paresh. It's been a tricky entrance into the competition for him.
Batting at number 9, being an opening batsman, it's very tricky for an opening batsman to come at number 9.
Just want to give you that confirmation again. Oman and Nepal have qualified for the T20 World Cup. Whatever happens across the course of these last 12 deliveries, you have to say they both deserve it. They've both been unbeaten. It looks like Nepal will be the ones who will ascend to the top of the table. And with just Samoa left to play, you'd imagine on the final day, they'll have a day off tomorrow, that they'll seal the silverware. Sufyan Mahmood on strike. 12 balls left. Hit straight towards a deep mid-wicket and taken. Kushal Bertel with his trademark kiss of the ball. Nandan Yadav's got 2 for. It's all going Nepal's way. And they've been exceptional this evening. They're going to round out their qualification and celebrate it in real style.
Nepal has shown the dominance of cricket, the way they've played. Not to the 100% mark in the early matches, but today they've come out and showed that they are well-deserved qualifiers for the World Cup. And even Oman, they played very good cricket throughout. Shakil Ahmed has to depart for 9 of 14. Oh, excuse me, it's Mahmood who has to depart. 9 of 14. 9 wicket down for Oman.
Yeah, you can't blame Sufyan Mahmood. He's just trying to wield the willow. But for Oman, it's been a procession of batters to and from the crease again and again. Nobody has really found a way to find some kind of threat or counteract the threat of Nepal's exceptional fielding and bowling performance, and they're going to come up well short. Nepal rounding out a glorious evening in real style. There'll be emotion across the nation, but happy feelings, happy thoughts, and moments that the country will celebrate in unison, all together in unity. And wouldn't they like to bowl Oman out to finish it off, Paresh?
Shah Faisal, the last batter for Oman, coming in at number 11. The required rate, it's almost 28. Now, I think it's all done and dusted for Oman.
Well, the required run rate at 27.6 would indicate that, Paresh. I fully agree. Nepal have been good value for their victory. They've outplayed the hosts who've, well, had an excellent tournament. They've really impressed me in the field and with the ball, but they just have a few questions with the bat to answer. However these final few balls go, Nepal will deserve this victory. You'd imagine they'll be very confident against Samoa, and it would be just a case of job done, and off they go to India and Sri Lanka.
The credit goes to the head coach Stewart, all the support staff, and the players. The way they've united themselves from the start, from the Unity Cup, beating West Indies 2-1 in the bilateral series.
Sandeep Lamachani just comes up into the ring, or wants to, but in fact he'll be sent back. So deep fine leg, deep backward square, deep mid wicket all still stay out. For Oman, their improvements in the field very notable. Their bowling attack looks very good. Duleep Mendes will be just looking to find a way with the batting ahead of that World Cup.
Yeah, it's all about Oman's batting, which is seems to be a problem at the moment. No consistency apart from Jatinder Singh and Vinayak Shukla, who's played a good knocks.
Yeah, Shukla's had a good tournament, isn't he? I think on the whole, on the balance for Oman, it's been a very good tournament. They've probably just been a bit outskilled this evening. Maybe it ended up being a reasonably good toss to win. And deciding to bat first, good pace and offer from Yadav. For Nepal, what will this mean to them, Paresh? The absolute world, I'd imagine.
Yeah, getting qualified for the T20 World Cup back-to-back. It's a very, very big achievement, not only for the players, for the nation. Where we were going out of sorts, a very big problem that was happening in the last month or so. Getting united, sports is the only one thing that unites everyone.
Yeah, isn't it just? And it's the power of sport, the beauty of sport, and our great game, cricket. As Yadav finishes with a slower ball, brilliant bowling. It's another dot, 19 bowled, 107 for 9. Going to be Irene to bowl the 20th and final, Paresh, and a very nice way for him to round out what's been a brilliant tournament. Might be in the mix for the player of the tournament, despite not necessarily leading the run scorers or the wicket takers. Just his impact has been sensational. Those 5 run-outs, basically impossible to match or equal. And he will surely be the one who'll round things out. A fever pitch has been reached around the ground. As this one's clubbed away into the offside. Good diving stop will keep it to a single.
Harry onto his second over. It's bowled well, just a single run given away in the first spell.
Inside edge, that could have gone anywhere. Mala will chase after it. Shakil Ahmed fancies a second. Does just enough to get back. Really good evening. It's been a celebratory evening. It's been one that Nepal's fans have shared with the Oman fans here. We've had a fever pitch, probably 500 or 600 in and around the ground. And Paresh, with it being your last night, I want to thank you for all of your thoughts. It's been great to be with you. As Irie has helped away over the offside, not quite get to the boundary as Bertel does the fielding. Been great to have you with me. I want to wish you a safe journey back home tomorrow. And it's always good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, Lyndon. Likewise.
There is the Oman flag flying high still. Okay, Paresh, I'm going to leave the last ball for you, I think. We'll see if Depender Singh Irie can find the wicket off the penultimate. I better get down pitch side. It will be in your hands, my friend. I will see you again, hopefully next month in Kathmandu. Let's see what happens. Oman, well, coming up short. Nepal, they're off to the World Cup. They'll be there with Oman, and they should be top of the table, the men from the Himalayas.
Just a ball remaining now for Nepal to register yet another victory in the Super Sixes in this tournament. Full toss, heaved away on the leg side. There is a protection. Rohit Paudel, the captain, doing the... And now they realize that they have qualified for the World Cup, but they had qualified for the World Cup before the game started today. Both Oman and Nepal qualifies for the T20 World Cup next year in India and Sri Lanka. Nepal winning the game by 38 runs, a big margin. Nepal is going to lead the table right on the top. Oman is going to go in the second position, whereas UAE are in the third with 4 points. Handshakes all around, good sportsmanship spirit shown by all the players. A dominating victory for Nepal. Very well led by the captain Rohit Paudel. He marshalled his troops very well throughout the number of games that they've played in this tournament. And Oman as well qualified for the World Cup next year. They still have a game to play, Oman. Nepal, they have last game on the 17th at night, playing against Samoa. And you can look at the top tier, the Omani flag waving around. They are also pleased that Oman has qualified for the World Cup along with Nepal. One spot remaining. Can that be UAE, or do we have a different team that will qualify as a third 20th qualification spot of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup next year? Played under good spirit, these two teams. Just a redemption for Nepal 2 years ago. Oman getting on top in the super over against Nepal. Let's look at the batting card. Apart from Jatinder Singh, 14 of 11, 25 for Mohammad Nadeem, and 32, a good knock by Vinayak Shukla. None of the batters went to double figures. Aryan Guptaraju best, 11 of 14. They just managed 113 for 9 in the allotted 20 overs. We'll look at the bowling card now. Sopal Kami, 2 wickets, Nandan Yadav 2 as well. Good economy rate for both of them. Dipendra Singh Irie wicketless. Sandeep Lamichhani taking a wicket, and Gulshan Kumar Jha 3 wickets, giving away 31 runs in 4 overs. Nepal winning the game by 38 runs. This is the match. Kushal Bhurtel top scored for Nepal, 69 of 51. Nadeem Khan pick up the bowlers for Oman, 4 for 20. Ramanandi 2 for 26, and Mahmood 2 for 29, chasing a target of 152. Vinayak Shukla top scored, 32 of 19. Mohammad Nadeem 25. Gulshan Jha taking 3 wickets, and this is the confirmation of the standings. Nepal right on the top with 8 points, without any losses, 4 wins. And net run rate is also good for Nepal, 0.75. Oman in the second position with 6 points. Both the teams, first and the second, they have qualified for the World Cup. UAE on the third position if they win tomorrow, they will definitely get the qualification for the World Cup. Okay, I'll leave you with some highlights of the second innings. The post-match presentation will follow shortly. Stay tuned.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Final mic check. Okay, post-match presentation time after a historic evening, a celebratory evening as Nepal have celebrated their T20 World Cup qualification, the third in their history, with a big win by 38 runs over Oman, who will also qualify for the T20 World Cup. We were due to speak to both captains and find out who the player of the match is, but unfortunately Jatinder Singh is struggling with that little injury as I nearly get clocked by the presentation. But we will instead speak to Vinayak Shukla, who is the vice-captain of Oman. Vinayak, keep your eyes on this presentation. It might fall on top of us. Commiserations. Firstly, congratulations, though. You've qualified for the World Cup. How does that feel?
Definitely, it's a good field. We worked really hard for that from the past couple of months, and boys deserve that. And boys have done a great work to be qualified there.
Talking about tonight's game, though, it was a pretty comfortable win in the end, really, wasn't it, for Nepal? They're an impressive side. Where do you feel as though they outplayed you tonight?
Definitely, they played well, especially in the power play. But credit to our bowlers that they came back in the game and put a total of 150. I think it's a pretty reachable total, but we collapsed in the between, and it's a miscalculation, I guess, from the batter. Definitely, we will sit together and look into this where we lack.
Is it fair to say that your bowling and your fielding has been really impressive this tournament? Just a few problems with the batting, and how are you going to rectify that for the World Cup ahead?
Definitely, we are looking to rectify because this tournament we have just come to know that a lot of things to be done in the batting, especially. And as a cricketer, I can see the fielding and the bowler are doing an amazing job for us.
When you're qualified for the World Cup, I want to congratulate you, Dilip Mendes, Jatinder Singh, and all the team. Go and enjoy the moments, and we'll see you for your final game.
Thank you so much.
Okay, great to hear the thoughts of Vinayak Shukla. Time to speak to the winning captain. It's Rohit Patel. Rohit, many congratulations. I think you knew. Did the rest of your team know that you'd already qualified for the World Cup before the start of that game, or did Stuart Law bring a bit of a surprise on you?
No, we knew it. To be honest, we're watching that somehow and UAE game, and we knew it. We have already qualified for the. We already qualified for the World Cup. So, but having said that, we were eyeing the trophy. So it was very important game for us to win today's game against Oman and to be on top of the table. So yeah, we were playing for that trophy.
How does it feel? The fans have been immense yet again. This is going to fill so many people in Nepal and all around the world, the diaspora, with just so much joy. It must be such a special feeling to be a part of that.
I think it's a great feeling right now. I cannot explain in words because we have dreamt it for past 1 year. We have been dreaming that again we have to play a World Cup, and it gives a lot of joy to all the team. So I think I'm very blessed to have such a great bunch of players, and at the same time the staff, our support staff is great. Coach Stuart is tremendous. Ganudai, Nick, Dane, trainer, physio, Ramandai, everyone has did their job really well. So I'm very grateful to them, and as a players have done a great job, great hard work, and I think it's a result of that we have been qualified for the World Cup, and now one more game left. Just pull it off last game.
10 years of hurt for the last gap, and this time you're going to go back to concurrent T20 World Cups. How much would you love to be in India if you get placed in that group in particular?
Absolutely, we're looking to go in India because a lot of Nepali people can go easily to India, and it will be great for us to play in India because a lot of people will also go, and a lot of people live in India also. Nepali people live in India, so I think it will be a great atmosphere in India, and we're looking to play in India.
Okay, final question, maybe just a word for the fans. Feel free to speak some Nepali if it helps. This has been after the most remarkable month last month, a full member victory over the West Indies. You've achieved your goals, you've set them out. Maybe say thanks to the fans.
सम्पूर्णमा एकदमै बधाई छ हैन सबै नेपाली जनतालाई एकदमै खुसीको कुरा हो हामी वर्ल्ड कप खेल्दैछौँ 2026 मा र सबैलाई एकदमै बधाई छ र यसै गरी माया गरिराख्नु होला र हामी योभन्दा राम्रो खेल्दै जान्छौँ र वर्ल्ड कपमा पनि राम्रो गर्नेछौँ. Thank you.
Dandavad, Rohit, you're off to the World Cup. Congratulations. Okay, time for the Player of the Match award. I'd like to ask Mr. Sridhar TK, who's the manager of sales operations for Oman Oasis, to come up and join me. They are the proud partners of Oman Cricket, and a very proud partner indeed, because Oman are off to the World Cup. Congratulations. Okay, plenty of good performances tonight. Gulshan Jah, absolutely worth the mention, as was Oman's Nadeem Khan, who took his career best figures of 4 for 20, but he's had a fantastic tournament with the bat. The Player of the Match, he made 69 of 51 balls, 7 fours and 1 6. It goes to Kushal Bertel. So Kushal's going to receive his award from Mr. Sridhar TK of Oasis and pose for a photo. And Kushal, just hang around for a quick chat with me as well, my friend. Thanks to our photographers. Thank you, Sridhar.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. Okay, Kushal, then you come here to me, mate. Many congratulations. What are the immediate feelings? You're off to the World Cup.
First of all, thank you so much. Feeling really proud. Two back-to-back World Cup in a row. I feel really good, yeah.
How much has your consistency with your batting been a product of Stuart Law's confidence and faith that he's shown in you?
Yeah, very much. He's backing me so much. Whenever I didn't score a run, he will back me, and he says buddy, you are the man. You are the man for Nepal. You will play Nepal to the World Cup. Yeah, he's the man. So yeah, for all the thanks goes to coach as well. He backs me so well. Yeah.
What about the fans? We're going to see some incredible scenes, particularly if you're drawn in India. Like, can you even imagine it? You could have a sold-out ground anywhere you go there in India, you reckon?
Yeah, India is just miles away from the Nepal. Yeah, most of the and I hope most of the Nepalese will go there. None from the Nepal. Everywhere, all over the corner from the Nepalese people will come to see us in play World Cup. Yeah.
Okay, final question. Back-to-back T20 World Cups. You came so close to some big wins there in the Caribbean in particular. Will you go to that World Cup and win some matches there now, do you feel?
Yeah, first of all, though, we have one more match left in this qualifier, and we are looking forward for that match. So, yeah, we are looking for the World Cup. Yeah, last World Cup, we very disappointed against the top test nation. So we'll do good in this World Cup, yeah.
Mate, you're the player of the match for the second time in this tournament. Many congratulations. Off to India or Sri Lanka. Wish you well.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. That is Kushal Bertel, the player of the match. It's going to wrap up our coverage here on ICC TV on a beautiful evening, a celebratory evening where both Nepal and Oman have indeed qualified for the T20 World Cup. It is, though, Nepal sitting pretty with 4 wins from 4 in the Super 6. They are looking strong favourites to go on and take the silverware. Come back and join us tomorrow afternoon where the UAE could be the 3rd spot and take that final place at next year's T20 World Cup. I want to thank you so much for watching. From me, Andrew Leonard, for Presh Lani, for all the team. We'll see you tomorrow.